चैनल का नाम ਕੀ ਸਰ?
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲਿੰਕ ਹੀ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਸਰ।
ਚੈਨਲ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ
ਲਿੰਕ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਭੇਜ ਦੇਣਾ।
ਗ੍ਰੇਟ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਰ ਹੈ ਕੁਝ?
ਹਾਂ ਗ੍ਰੇਟ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਰ ਹੈ। ਲਿੰਕ ਆ ਦੇਣਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਭੇਜ ਦੇਣਾ। ਇਹ ਦੇਖੋ ਉਧਰ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਤੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਚੈਨਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਧਰ। Dear student, kindly maintain social distance. Don't sit like this. Wear mask, use sanitizer, leave one row empty and keep 2 seats between yourself. Leave 2 seats minimum, have one row empty, take care of yourself, wear mask. Have one row empty. Wear mask. Dear students, good afternoon. This is the first time we are seeing each other face to face. Nice, you are here. Kindly separate yourself. Don't sit too close. I am asking, maintain social distance. Keep one row empty in between and 2 seats blank bare minimum. 2 feet distance maintain करके रखो बेटा. मास्क पाके रखो. Wear your mask. See, we have been discussing through video conferencing and through discussion forums. Last, kindly maintain social distance. बेटा खुले खुले होके बैठो, लागे ना बैठो. Don't sit together. Maintain social distance. See, programming is very interesting subject. Very interesting subject. And it need to be experienced. You need to learn by doing the things rather than just something taught on the whiteboard or blackboard or through video conferencing. That is not enough. You need to get your hand wetted or dirty hand. You need to do it yourself, right? And luckily nowadays you have lot many resources with you in the form of your mobile. Mobile is a wonderful device. You can do lot many things with that. Might be inconvenient to someone, but I am sure at your age, your generation, you can find ways and means, and if there is a challenge, then that will be an opportunity for you to provide a solution so that you can work effortlessly with minimum efforts as comfortably on mobile small screen as you can do on laptop or on a desktop, right? So if there is a limitation, take it as a challenge and you might be a solution provided to that problem. Now programming is just giving instruction to the computer to get work done from anyone, from your brother, from your sister, from your mother, from any family member, or from the domestic help. If you want to get work done from someone else, you need to communicate. You need to give instructions. And if you need to give instruction, you need to give instruction in such a way that other can understand that what is your instruction. So you might be giving different type of instruction to your mother than to your domestic help. That is, if you have a servant in your home, you might be giving at a different level because you know your mother can understand you well. And so that means depending upon the person to whom you are communicating, your style of instruction might vary. And here we are dealing not with a human being, but we are dealing with a computer, so we are to give instruction to the computers. And we should know that what are the limitations of the computer, how it will understand my instructions. See, computer cannot make guess normally, right? Of course, you can develop sophisticated software which can observe you and find out what is your requirement at the moment, and his guess might be most appropriate for you in most of the cases. That what nowadays artificial intelligence and machine learning is trying to do, right? So again, those things come from the programming. So if we can make machines to behave in an intelligent manner, in a smart manner, it is only because you are smart. It is not the machine is smart. Machine will only do whatever you are telling to the machine, right? So that is, you always remain at a upper level. You are, and of course, if machine is doing something, please separate yourself. Don't sit close to yourself. Maintain social distance. Those who are coming late, maintain minimum 2 feet distance in X and Y both direction. Leave one row blank, two seats empty. हाँ हुनी हुई है कि पहला नहीं होगी चेक करो बार बार हो रही है नहीं ये थोड़ा हाथ लग गया ओके wear mask, leave 2 seats blank, one row blank, sit comfortably. And if you have questions, you can raise hand, we will listen to you, and that's the opportunity we can, you have the question, yes. Then kindly don't take risk, always come with masks. Get spare mask in your bag. See, your health is of top priority, right? So you separate, I mean, you can sit leaving more distance. Yes, attendance का भी इंतजाम कर देने हैं. We will make a arrangement for the attendance. Please sit down. Please sit down. So then let us do the work for your attendance. Now you can mark your attendance. Password is 1122. 1122 is a password. It is 27th January from 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. That's correct time. Can't you mark it yourself? Just refresh it. You refresh your page, it should work. Please try now. Refresh your page and try now. हो गया? Kindly mark your attendance. A password is just 1122 is a password. You mark your attendance. Fine. Attendance done. Now let us do the programming task. I took one special lecture on Monday, but unfortunately attendance was very less. It's okay if you are not interested, I don't mind. But there were requests from many that we need to learn, they have joined late or somewhat. And we have tried to reach everyone. If you have a difficulty, now you can contact in your labs with your teacher physically, those who are present here, or our channel is open discussion forum where all technical question has been answered. accept attendance, I will take that. I'm sorry I am not able to attend that on priority basis. Whatever you have attendance, your claim will be taken care. You will not bear any penalty because of that. All technical question is my more priority. I will address to your technical questions. Now, because you are first time sitting here, any technical question from the audience, those who are sitting here. If you have any technical discussion, kindly open up, tell me what's your reaction, what you want to be covered, and take the advantage of this physical interaction. If still you are not interacting, then it is as good as the video conferencing. And many of you dislike our videos. It's good. It's good. I mean, don't just dislike, also give us the reason why you dislike it. That you can discuss in the discussion forum. If YouTube allow it, you can type there. It's always good to get the feedback. I mean, that we will take care in future, and whatever you dislike, we will try to improve it. And the only thing you keep in mind that we are not professional filmmakers. Our video will be amateur videos. So although technical help is not available, so whatever one can do, so that part technically we will try to convey to our ability, and we can listen you as much as time permit. Probably you have less time, we have more time. So whatever is your question, we can even address one to one. So any question from the audience that what you want, where you find the, where is a pain point, where you find programming is difficult, where you find the lecture delivery is not up to the mark. And I announced that we will going to announce the procedure to prepare your lab report. So there are a lot of input should be come from your side. So you need to write what you have learned from that particular program, whichever assignment is given. And then what extra we should able to do so that your experience or learning from that is much more. So I will pass on that instruction to you. And to learn any programming language, you will require a piece of the software which will be related to that particular computer language. So if you want to learn Python, you learn Python software. If you want to learn Fortran, you need Fortran software. If you want to run Ghost language, you need. So if C, you need a C software. And that's what we need, call it compiler. So you require a compiler. So you need to install it. You can get it from the internet free of cost. Of course, paid version is also available. But this C and C++, these comes from the standards. These are the standards. So its implementation might be from a company who charge money for that or otherwise. And it is always good to work on free softwares which comes free of cost. Not only money wise, which also like a democratic process, public. So they are much more standardized rather than commercial products. So purpose is you should run, when develop a program, it should able to run on as many platforms as possible. Most of the time, persons believe that Java programs can run on much more platforms, but that's wrong. C programs are known to run on much more range of platform rather than the Java. Java can only work on one machine, that is JVM, Java Virtual Machine. And not all the platforms are supporting JVM. So wherever JVM can run, only their Java programs can run. On the other hand, C is supported on much larger platforms, right from the embedded system to supercomputers. So that's a myth. And there are two variety of the programs. One programs are that first is you need to write full program and then you need to convert that into machine language. For that you need compiler. So you need to compile your program before you can see what are the results. Just by writing a small program, incomplete program, you won't able to execute it. On the other hand, like Python, there are not compiler. For that, we need a software which is known as interpreters. So that it interprets rather than compile. So in interpreter, it runs one line at a time. Before you, if you get errors, it halts there. So you can have partial execution of the program. So most of the time, as a learner, we prefer that type of environment where you even incorrect program should able to give you something. It's okay, it's good for the learning, that's fact. What it make you to lack in a variety of essential skills. That means you cannot plan your work beforehand. You cannot visualize what is going on, which is must for every engineer. So you need to visualize before that how your program will work, and you should able to plan before. And another advantage is that compiled programs, they are much more faster than interpreted programs. So if you want efficiency in your system, then go for a compiled programs. Compiled programs, if they are efficient, it takes less time, then user experience will be better, right? He will get response in lesser time. And on the other hand, because it executed in a smaller time, it requires lesser resources on the part of the server or computer where it executed. So if it requires lesser resources, that means it requires less energy. If you are making a system which uses less energy, it means you are working on a sustainable platform. So you are preserving resources for the next generation. So sustainable computing is a top priority. So learning C, that's why is a essential as a first language to engineering graduates, right? So either whichever language you want to learn, you either need interpreter for that or you need a compiler for that. And here you need a compiler. We are using GCC compiler. So the platform I gave you, it is GCC compiler. So there is a normal procedure which how to compile it, which we have not touched at the moment. Probably next week we will do that. The standard procedure to compile. Rather than we are using a utility Xmake, and Xmake will make your life simpler, right? It do a lot of things for you, right? So you would not find much tutorials about the Xmake. You don't find any book where it tells. So we are preparing you as a professionals. Like the procedure which we told you, you need to learn the procedure that how to compile it. That we will teach you. But no professional, and when you do serious programming, will going to compile in that manner. You are going to use some tool, right? Which tool we are using? Xmake. If someone is not making use of Xmake, they might be using the make, M-A-K-E, just omit text from that. Make is a utility which is very old. And then everyone must be using the make. All serious program will be making use of make utility. These are known as built tools. You are building software, so they help you build softwares. So that tool is their make. After make, then person start using the CMake. CMake was cross-platform, that if you need to run your program on Microsoft Windows, you also develop on Unix type system or on a Mac. So if you are working on a different, then same configuration file will work on all operating systems. So that was a refinement over the make, CMake. And further to that, there is XMake, right, which is a recent development. So we are giving you the latest technology in the field. So you have been exposed. There was a tutorial, a write-up, which tells you how you need to connect to the remote server, and that different students can do differently. So that will be your first assignment or first task in your practical notebook. You are going to write on the basis of that write-up that how you are connecting to remote server to do the practical work. Although those who are present here, they will attend in a physical mode. What physical mode means, we teachers will be available to you to solve immediate problem physically, which otherwise we are available through video conferencing. But your working style will remain the same. From any computer, you will connect to the same server. So your working will remain the same. Either you are working in a physical mode or you're working in a virtual environment. Help will be available immediately in the form of physical instructor, faculty member available to you. So first will be how to connect the remote server. So now you are not talking general. You will be talking which device you are doing. No, don't talk about the lab computer. You are to, in whichever way you were used to connect, either with your laptop or with your mobile. So you are telling that which device you are using, and you are to there insert screenshot from that with your username, with your particulars, log into your directory. So those screenshot will be addition to write up, and you write in your own style. Don't just copy and paste there. So that will be first thing, how to connect with your own screenshots. Then second will be how to compile your first program. So that will be you are again providing the screenshots or the text log of what you are doing to compile your first program in your own folder. So these two are the first things you are do. Then there will be another set of the programs which will just to give how to use a particular feature of C program, like how to tell the grammar or rules of the identifiers, how to name the variables who are initialized, use of the logical operators, use of the arithmetic operator, use of the relational operators, use of conditional statements like if else or doing the repetitive task. So whatever is the feature, just to make use of that. Then there will be another set of the program where you are going to develop something interesting. You can call it a mini project where you can use whatever you have learned, you will going to use that there. So that will be your overall in your laboratories. And whatever we do in lecture, tutorial, labs or discussion forum, that will be a part of your theoretical knowledge in theory. So we need to cover the C completely. That's the thing. So that's a brief repetition because you are here. So XMake, you know how to work. That write-up is there. So whenever you use any new software, how you will come to know how to work? You go to the search the internet, go to their website, download the software. There will be instruction from where you are going to get the software, and then from where you are going to how you are going to use it. So whoever is developing the software, he must giving the, like when you buy a TV or a video game, it comes with a manual. So they provide the manual, how you are going to operate this, how you are going to use it. So that tells you how you are going to use it, right? So they give you the instructions, how you are going to use it. Need not to remember anything, right? Once you do things 3, 4, 5 times, you will find things on your tips. Or from the computer in your login, you can search the history to find what commands you have given in a previous day or a few days. So you can search from the history, and you can, without typing anything, you can issue the previous command. Another thing that will be optional, I will not make it must for everyone. If you can have your account on github.com, then whatever you do on code.gndc.ac.in on your code server, so you can have a copy of that everything on your GitHub account. It has some benefit, right? So that is a must. Then I can check either from your GitHub account or from your code account. Of course, execution of the program cannot take place on GitHub. So that to execute the program, you need to use the code.gndc.ac.in for your own computer, right? One part is C, right, which will be thread. In theory, we normally won't ask question how to compile or how you are to log into server. Yes. Okay, I mean, I avoid explaining that thing here because that was a optional part, right? You ask question on the discussion forum, I will answer there. I will give you the hint, right? Whatever you want to do, right? Just search the internet. I am saying search the internet. I am not saying search the Google. You should also aware that there are many other search engine on the internet, and you should have experience of diverse diverse tools available on the internet. And once, I mean, it is up to you which search engine you are using. Search on a, I don't say don't use Google as well as use the other search engines. You will find the difference. What are the difference? Whatever is your question, just type your question. And after doing some search, you will come to know how to search internet properly. That's one skill which everyone should be able to learn. And I remember I gave you one instruction that you should go through a course which is known as Power Search by Google. The Google have a online course that how to search the internet. Very valuable course because every day you do some search on the internet. Whether you getting what you require or you get something different, that you will not come to know now. After you go through that course, you will come to know that you are not searching in a right manner. So you need to learn how to search on the internet. So you will get almost answer for everything. One thing is we try to empower you to do things yourself rather than spoon feeding. We are give you the direction. We will protect you. We will solve your problems. But we will not try to spoon feed yourself. So that will be you don't find in this course. And probably at your age it should not be. So spoon feeding will not be done. How to copy it? Even if you don't search, just to go to github.com, create your account, try to do something. Or if you don't try to do something, it will give you the instructions that you can do this now, you can do this thing, you can do this, and that way as a self-learning, you can do it. And if you that is not what you want, you can search on the internet, I want to do this on GitHub, it will tell this is how you need to do it. So try to explore it yourself, it will be more fun and you will enjoy it more. But I am not avoiding my responsibility. So you ask question, I will answer, my team will answer. Fine. What in the lab? In lab, compiling procedure instruction, we should know it, right? And that will depend upon the operating system. That will vary from the compiler to compiler. Things can vary, right? So for every compiler you are using or whatever tools you are using, you need to learn how to use those things. So that will be specific to what tools you are using. We are using the Xmake utility. So we should learn how to work in Xmake utility. Of course, we will tell how to compile it other way, which is most fundamental way. And once you are logged on your computer, you can create folder there, you can create files there. Likewise, when you are connected to a server through Mosh, most probably you are using the Mosh to connect, and if somehow Mosh is not working, then you can use SSH client, secure shell SSH. So you should know SSH secure shell, and other was the Mosh, which is a mobile shell. So you need to work in some shell. Like on your window type system, you have a DOS shell. So you need to work a shell. Why this shell is called shell? So you have a on a computer hardware, there are different layers of the software. One is operating system. So on operating system, the uppermost layer is a shell, just like a coconut is having the outer interface which interact with the outside of that fruit. That's why that is called the shell. So through shell, you can communicate with the rest of the operating system. There are different type of shell. There are many shells, right? So you will communicate, and this is a shell. You can see on the screen that is a shell, and I can communicate. In text mode, like mouse will not work here. You will not find icons. So icons is another way of communicating with the system, and this is also user interface. Person say the GUI, graphical user interface. Like this is also user interface with the text user interface. So with this, you should able to communicate, and you should need to know a few commands. And commands are not difficult; they are as intuitive, as easy as anything. So if I am in this system, I would like to see what is there. I want to see the list of content where I am. So I can just type ls. So that stands for list. It display folders and files. It provide me the list. So you can see content with the list. So once you, I mean, you might not be knowing as such, but once you are exposed, then remembering those things will not be difficult because things are very intuitive. And I advise you to work in a public underscore HTML. And if you see, I can work comfortably because I am not typing too much. I type CD, change directory space, and then press P, and then pressing tab key, it completes. Auto completion is there. So tools are there. You should make use of the tools. And most of the experts, which they love to call them some hackers, and most of the movies, if you see, hackers don't work with a mouse. They work on a keyboard and mostly black screen like this. They know that GUI is there, but they find it is much more comfortable. It is much faster than GUI. Where you require GUI, use it. But for this purpose, we don't require it. If you use it, you are wasting the resources, which is again not sustainable. Forget about the resources. It is not health friendly. If you use on this type of screen, console screen, text screen, it will give less stress on your eyes. So it will be health friendly. You can work on a longer hours and your eyes will be not very tired too quickly. So I am just pressing tab key to complete it. Then I can again see ls whatever is there, and then you can find print working directory to name the path also. That is also coming as a part of the prompt. And whenever you do something like here, I say special lecture SL1 ls minus trl star slash. So it will do the sorting in a reverse order, and you can find latest modified file at the bottom. And if I put here D, it will only display the directories. So I mean, these are the, like ls is a command, then minus trdl, these are the switches or additional options which can filter and do lot many other things. Asterisk means star and slash mean don't go inside the folder, only show the name of the folders. I mean, for first timer, it may look something very difficult, but when you have a need, you want that computer should help you, and you want to get help from the computer. Necessity is there, then you find all these things are very easy, and even without effort, you can remember these things. And if any you need help, I mean, if you are unable to see how to set your TV, then you will go to the manual of the TV. You see what are the things. And then by reading those things from the manual, you can do it. You don't need to remember anything. So likewise, every command gives you the manual, and that manual comes with a man. Man stands for manual. So it is a manual of ls, command ls, man ls. You can read the manual, manual is there, help is there. So it gives you the complete information about ls. Ls is list directory contents, that's the meaning of this command. Then synopsis, how you are going to use it. Ls square bracket give the options. You can write lot many options there. Then you can write file name, one file name, second file name, like that. And then it have a description. You with the space you can see -a is or -a all. Do not ignore entries starting with dot. Normally dot entry starts, there are hidden entries. It will not show the hidden files. But with the -a, it also show the hidden files. So these are the options. Whatever option you need, you can read about that option and then use it. You can see lot many options are there. Even no one is using all the options. Like, but you should know that many options are there. And if you need that option, you should use it. And don't try to remember, read whole thing. And you should know that this help is available. If you require some time any help, you will find that. I mean, why you need help? Like I say ls give option like this. I want to see more information about the files and directory. So that means this is not fulfilling my requirement. So I need to put -l here. -l long. It gives me the long list information about the files. So then it gives one file or one directory in one row and giving lot of information about this. And if some information goes up, you want to read that, you can pass this through a command more, then you can read page by page. So more than you, it display first page on the screen, then you press space, then it show the next page, enter. So it show this thing. Press enter, second page, and so on, right? So now you want it to be sorting time wise. So I can put T here. Now things will be sorted time wise, right? I want time wise in a reverse order. So R is there. So whatever is the requirement, you can modify that with additional parameters, right? It is only requirement based. If you need it, you can find it out and you can use it. I think I have posted a post in discussion forum with a Hindi written there, Jo Hukam Mere Aaka. So that's the commands. So you need to know only few essential commands, right? So remember those commands by doing the things, right? Don't by cramming it. If you are using it one time, first time, because that these things are given in my lecture notes, that which commands use. So those are the essential commands. Rest, if you want to do much more in this, do automation, then you can use it. So wherever you want to work, for lab purpose, I give you the instruction that in your form folder, which folder should be there and how you can work there, which I will not let you know. It will be a written statement will be issued so that everyone should work as per that statement. What definitely whenever you do some work, you need to do that with the help of XMake, the way we are doing. That means every program should be treated as a project. I mean, although we are playing with a very small programs, but still we want to treat it as a project. That's the professional way of doing the work. We are giving you that exposure. So in that way, so I can with a make a directory. So let's call it OD. Then CD OD, go to that directory. LS, nothing is there. This directory is empty. You can see where I am, print working directory. You are in a OD, which is under publish code HTML, which is in your user, which is mine case is HSRI. And now, if you are working first time, then that won't help you. Then you need to know how to connect the remote first time and how to do your compilation of the first program. You need to read that. So, and where to read that? For that, most of the time I use link gdy.club. So you should remember that thing by now. So gdy.club/pps. So it is easy to remember, specially designed for you. So gdy.club/name of this direct pps. You will find there how to work in the laboratory, then how to connect the remote server, how to do the compilation. So you will read those instructions and issue the command accordingly. You can copy and paste issue command. Even typing is not required. But typing will be a benefit that it helps you to remember things quickly. So although you can use copy paste, but I suggest you read, type, so that you get some feeling what you are doing here. Once commands are issued, then I can use Control R. Control R. So I can search the previous command issued by me, and I want to -L space C, right? So that's the command I wanted to take, and then I can use the arrow key right and left to edit this command. This commands create a project. Now this project name is tank, which I want to change, right? So you can give name of the project you want to do. Let us call it factorial. So let us say we want to create a program which find the factorial of a given number. So we are doing the things which you have already studied in your school, right? We are not going to give you very thing new. So you write a program only for those things for which you know the procedure, you know the fundamental required, you know the theory that is required for that. If it is to calculate the rate of the interest, you study the interest principal amount, like that things in your school. So just we are not making subject complicated, only things which you know already, you are to just program for that only. So here this command makes some sense. Xmake means we are using the Xmake utility to manage my programs, to compile my program. And I am creating a project named factorial. So factorial last is the name of the project which this is going to create. Because I want to create the project, so create is there. And I need to tell that project will be in which language. So this Xmake can handle lot many languages. So you need to tell language. So -L is a switch which you can convey the language. So -L, L stands for language, and next argument C tells that this program is in C, right? So once this command is given, press enter, it do something, it create files, and I normally give you tree space dot. That dot stands for current folder. It means it gives me the tree of the files and the directories in from the current folder. Even without dot it will work, right? So it say in this folder, because of Xmake command which I had just issued, it created factorial, that is one folder. In that folder there is a src folder, and then there is a file xmake.lua. So things which we don't require, we don't go through that. So factorial folder is important, src folder is important, because src folder will contain files written by yourself. Whatever you develop the program, those files will be in src folder. Its names come from the source code of the program. Whatever you write, that will be there. So, and it created a file main.c as a help for you, that this is a bare minimum program. You can expand on this program further. So that you can say it is a scaffold or a helping thing for you from which you can take off, right? So it created two directory and two files. Now you need to go to project folder. Yes? Pardon? I could not get you. Yes, you can go. So there is factorial, two directories and two folders. Now from this folder, from where you have issued the xmake command, you need to go to the project folder, and project folder is factorial. So CDF, I am pressing tab and I am going to the factorial folder. There I can clear screen with control L and press ls, you find source folder is there. I would advise you keep in this folder yourself. You keep yourself in this folder, right? Don't go to the source folder, right? So that will create the problem that you need to put -P, capital P, to compile it. We need not to do that. Follow the standard procedure so that it should not offer any objection, no warning, and it does not give you the, it's a, you can force compilation in current folder. Why we should force? I mean, we should not do anything wrong. We should not force anyone to do anything. So follow the procedure, go to the project folder, which is a factorial, and in that factorial, issue the nano editor s tab. So you will find it will give you the source file created by xmake for you. Press enter. So that file is there. Now we will change this file so that we can find the factorial of the node. How to find the factorial? That's the thing. That means you first know what is a factorial. And if I say what is the factorial of 2, what is the factorial of 5, what is the factorial of 3, you should be able to give me the answer. And I don't think anyone from the audience is there who is not knowing what is a factorial, right? But before you can start writing the program, you need to understand what you are doing. If you are calculating factorial of 7, then what you are doing? If you are calculating factorial of 5, what you are doing? And if you are calculating factorial of 3, what you are doing? And like that. Can you find the factorial of 0? Can you find the factorial of -5? Can you find factorial of 7.5? So you should know the basic definition of the factorial, right? And then you should know what are the valid numbers for which factorial can exist. And as a good programmer, you need to apply check. If user gives something rubbish for which factorial cannot exist, you have to politely convey to the user that, gentlemen, for this factorial does not exist. So you can help that factorial only exists for these conditions. So whatever you are doing, you know it, but might be you have learned that thing 4, 5 or 6 years back. Now you need to refresh yourself. Go through the definition. Take at least 3 numbers, say 3, 7, 10. Find factorial of that. Check with the calculator factorial of that whether your answer and calculator answer is matching or not. When you are finding factorial of 3, what you are doing, and when you are finding factorial of 7, what you are doing, where you start, where you stop, what you are doing, you need to observe yourself carefully, and that is a very important step. That's where comes the problem solving aspect. So you need to write all those steps for a given number, say n. If I need to find the factorial, then I am going to do this. And mind it, different students can have different approach. They can have different steps. See, for any single problem, here we say problem is to find the factorial. It does not have a unique procedure. There are more than one procedure available to find the factorial. even for the one procedure, program written by two persons will be different. It will not match. So that's why don't copy from someone else. Try to do things yourself. Try to do things yourself. First, solve 2-3 problems so that you can find the pattern, you can find the procedure, so that you can have a common instructions, that if you want to explain to someone what instructions you go, then not only 3, 7 or 10, it should for 23, for 35, for 375, it should also find factorial of that. So by following that procedure, then it is not that you are just giving a very simple numbers or a small numbers like 2, 3 or 4. Then you can give it bigger numbers. Then program should also work. And then I say you need to check the boundary cases or for cases for which your problem is not defined. Like it can be any other thing also, not only factorial. It can be say for prime number, to check whether the given number is a prime number or not. Then you can find the, to solve the quadratic equation, or to find the area for a given points, number of points, to find the area of triangle, perimeter of triangle. I mean, problems can be n number of problems, which small problems we have done few things, and more we will going to do. Try to understand this statement very carefully, then solve the problems, test it for the all cases for which if input is not valid, or then there will be something else also, right? So you need to test your program for its limitation. I mean, that will be essential part in your report, that when you write report for your labs, you need to write what are the limitations of your program. You must be knowing that. So like you say, if you have a bike, your bike cannot go beyond 65 kilometers per hour. So its maximum speed you can attain is only this much. So that might be limitation of. Likewise, what is the limitation of your software? So you need to do that. Okay. So you can start with the comments, right? Then just write factorial. You can write date when you started, date when you finished, your roll number, your name, developer. So those things you can write. So header file, this is required because we have to use the printf or any output input. Now printf. So rather than doing typing, you first write your steps or flow chart, then convert that into computer program, and then that computer program you need to type. Don't type directly. First write on a piece of paper what's your program. So printf, and just observe how I am typing. You have written the program, you are not going to type that way, because otherwise this semicolon should be the last entry I put. So when I type printf, the moment I type this opening bracket, I need to type immediately closing bracket. That you should have. And many of the editors, they do it automatically as well. And then you also semicolon. So you complete so that there's no error. Otherwise you have the opening, you start typing in between, then you forget the closing bracket. So that gives more errors. And in between, you need to type some string. And string is, you will ask, give me the number. Type number. You want user to give the number for which you want to find the factorial, right? So that number you can like this. And then if you get that message, then you can use scanf again like this. And then you need to read that. If that number is, let us say, NUM, number is a identifier for which you need to find the factorial. This will be integer, like you can put here %d, which is a conversion specifier. No number will be read from the keyboard, and whatever you type you will also see on this screen. So it will be of the type integer because factorial will be of the integer. So that means for this I need to use integer num semicolon. So before using any variable identifier, we need to declare it. We need to define it. So num is now declared. Its value will be taken from the input. Before I do that, whatever is the output, I will print this slash n in a new line. Then I will say factorial of n, factorial of n. So here n will be printed here is that we will write later, and here I will write num. Here I am not doing anything, right? Program is not complete. Just I am taking the input and typing that input, that factorial of n. We will do that part later because I see time is over. Save it, Control X, save it. That option is written. Is say yes to save it and enter to confirm name. And here you need to type xmake to compile it. So it was able to compile it. No error is there. Then I xmake run to run it. It say give me number. Number I put C. Yes, you can come. Right? So there is a error. Can anyone tell what is the error? What is the error? Right, scanf, it will have here and symbol because it work on the memory location address, not on a variable name. So that is the error. Save it. Yes, enter. You need to compile it again and then run it. So now if I say 3, it gives factorial of 3. So this is a part program. You first write a skeleton of the program. Don't try to develop in a one go. First, if skeleton is working, it is compiled, that's okay. Then develop slowly. So that's the way. So try to develop this program for the factorial with your own logic, right? So we will meet you in lecture on day after tomorrow. On Thursday, there's no lecture, no you can leave. And you need to contact your teacher or see from the guru where you can see where you are to go for your lab classes. Your lab classes will be held physically. Thank you.